Hello all, in this tutorial we are going to learn about Catalan Studio framework, tips about the framework and some of the other tips and tricks in Catalan Studio. Catalan Studio works on page object model framework. If you have observed Catalan object repository after recording the test, you will get to know that it saves the objects in the page-wise manner. It saves the object of one web page in one folder, and when we navigate to some other page or the frame of the page, it saves the object in different folder. I have created this sample project for you to understand it, and in this project I have created 4 test cases, and unfortunately I got only one page, so all the objects are added in one page only. So all the objects are added in one page. So this is page object model. Objects gets added in the object repository page wise. For another page it will be new folder and the objects will be added in that folder. If you change this structure, you may face some issues in Catalan, like you would not be able to make use of smart weight feature as expected. It's not like that there is no solution for that. You can anytime use the custom keyword. You can create the custom keyword and you can use it to handle the issues, or there are many other ways to handle the issues in Catalan as it is a flexible tool. It has many solutions for one thing. Framework on any tool for any kind of project varies according to the requirement and can be changed as per the need basis. So understanding the project that we are working on and developing the framework accordingly is very important. I will give you some tips to work and develop a framework for Catalan Studio. First thing is the organization of test cases. Organize test cases in such a way that you will be able to find them, you will be able to trace them in a big project. In this test case folder, I have created 4 test cases. I have not organized them, but you can organize these test cases by adding it into the folder. Create a separate folder for each scenario and add the test cases related to that scenario in that particular folder. Then comes the data files. The same rule applies to the data files. Create data files for each scenario in different folder. While doing this, we have to keep the reusability of test scripts and test data in mind. So we will come back to this point later. Next is test suite and test collection organization. Create a test suite for one complete business process or scenario. You can create a folder for test suite also if you want. For example, I have created here 2 test suite folders. One is to add candidate details and another is to add leave entitlement. These 2 test suite folders include test suites having the collection of test cases to complete the add candidate business scenario, or this test suite includes the test cases to complete the add leave entitlement scenario. So this way you can organize, and you while organizing it, make sure that you give the right name which enables you to understand what is there in this folder or what is there in this test case. For example, I have given the name test add candidate. It means this is the add candidate test case. This is add leave entitlement test case. This is logout test case and this is login test case. The name itself gives the explanation what is it. Even the test suite folders. This is add candidate suite. This covers the scenario of adding the candidate, and the suit name is also add candidate. In similar way, the other suit. And this is the test suit collection which contains the scenario 1. You can give the scenario name if you have. I have added two test suits, that is add candidate and add leave entitlement over here to execute. And these two, for me, these two completes one scenario or one business process. So that's why I have made a collection of it. So according to the needs or according to what kind of test case you are going to execute, you need to create the collection according to the objective of execution. What I mean by the objective of execution, I mean there can be different objectives of the execution, like execution of one business process that I have shown you now, or the objective like requirement of execution of same business process parallelly on different browsers. So you will add the one test suite or two test suite multiple times and run them parallelly. One more requirement can be the test data generation. So you will have to execute same test with multiple test data iterations. These are the few of the objectives which we need to keep in mind while creating the test suite collection, and we have to create the test suite collection accordingly. Now let's look at the object repository. I said earlier that do not change the object repository structure. But if you see this object repository, it's a bit confusing and maybe messed up once the project will have more and more test cases. For that, there are some tips like change the page name according to your requirement, change the object names. Here I have changed the object names, all object names I have changed. While changing the object name, keep the structure of the object in the mind. For example, see here I have given a and underscore before all link type objects. All button type objects I have given the prefix as button. All checkboxes I have given the prefix as check, and for all input text boxes I have given the input as the prefix. So you can change the names accordingly and give the proper name to the object so that you will be able to understand which object is this, what object is this, where is this used. Then identify the recurring objects which are repeated, which are used again and again multiple times. Keep only one object, remove the duplicate ones. You will find this bit tedious and time consuming, but trust me, it will help you in long run. And while changing the name of the objects, keep in mind to close all the test cases and test suites. When you keep test case open and if you change the object name, then the object name will not change in the test case. If you close the test case and if you change the object name here, it will change the object name automatically in the test case. Now last thing is the reusability of the scripts and objects. I have already gave you the option for object repository that the repeated objects should be deleted and only one object reference should be kept for one object. For scripts that are reusable, create small methods for those scripts. For login, logout, navigation, you can add these in the test listeners. We have learned about test listeners. So you can add the login, logout, navigation to URL, such kind of test steps in the test listeners. This way you can work with Catalan and customize the framework as per your requirement. Catalan also supports the BTD Cucumber framework. You can also use that for your project. And this was about Catalan framework. Hope you liked it and found it useful. Now let's move to the next point, that is tips. I will show you few tips which I have not shared in the earlier tutorials. These tips are enable and disable test case, add one test case in another test case, shortcut to add test case in test suite, desired capabilities, add mail recipient to test suite, rerun failed test cases from test suite, and headless mode of browser. Now let's see how to add the test case in the test suite. There is a button in test case to add it in the test suite. You can directly add the test case in the test suite. You can add it in the existing test suite or you can add to the new test suite. Next is to add a test case or call a test case in another test case. For this test case, there is no login details. So I will add a login test case to this test case. What I will do is I will add one keyword. I will click add and here you will find call test case. I will call this test case login to this test case. I will move this up and from here this will be called. And first the login will be performed and then the next action will be performed. Next is how to enable or disable the test step. So right click the test step and you can enable or disable the test step from here. After that we will go to project settings to see some of the features like external libraries. If you want to add any external libraries to your project, you can add by going to this external libraries in project settings and click add button and you can add the libraries. Next is desired capabilities. To add the desired capabilities to your web drivers, you can add those here. Click add and you can add the desired capability. Next is about test suite. We will go to test suite. In the test suite, we have seen how to send the emails for the execution of the test suite or test suite collection. In the test suite, there is one more setting for email is given. If you add mail recipient email addresses for particular test suite, then the execution report will be delivered to these mail recipients along with the default mail recipients that we have configured in the project settings. For this particular test suite execution, the report will be delivered to these recipients as well. Next is the retry after failure. If one of the test case from this test suite is failed, if we give here 1, then it will retry one time for the failed test cases. Next is the headless execution. Headless mode execution is similar to normal execution, only the browser will not be displayed to you. It will not be visible to the user. The execution will be done at the background, at the back end. For execution of the test case, you can go to run and here you will find the Chrome headless and Firefox headless mode and you can select and execute with the headless mode wherein you will not see the browser, it will execute the test in the background and you will get the report after execution. For the test suite, you have to open the test suite and you have to execute from the run button. So you will find the same buttons over here. For test suite collection, you can run the test suites by selecting the headless mode from here. And for command line, if you go and select the test suite, you will be able to edit and select the headless mode of the browser and generate the command line. This was all about Catalan framework and some of the tips of Catalan. Hope all these tips regarding the framework and Catalan Studio will be helpful for you and you liked it. Please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the subscribe and bell icon below this video. Thank you.